Hi, my name's David Urben. I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina. Stefanos, to me, I grew up knowing him as Steve. Met him in high school. He'd moved to North Carolina near Charlotte when he was 13, as he describes his life first coming here, knowing no English, and he had to quickly learn how to fight in school. He went to a very rough school in the outskirts of Charlotte, North Carolina, and was picked on because of his lack of English skills. And so anyway, at a very early age, he learned how to fight. I didn't meet him until he was in high school at Broughton High here in Raleigh. His dad was a tailor in Charlotte and was working in a sweatshop and wanted to break out on his own. And so they came to Raleigh. That's how they ended up here. His father was a great man, solid, strong, very frugal. He made custom clothing for a lot of the alumni, NC State alumni, teachers, faculty, coaches. Made custom suits, custom pants, whatever you wanted, done clothing-wise. Mr. Miltsakakis was excellent. And I had my first suit made by him, actually. But first met Steve in high school, about the time he was sort of finding himself and feeling his oats. And it was a crazy ride after that. I'd say my first impression of Stefanos was he was a little bit scary, intimidating, until you got to know him. And he was a gentle, giving, generous guy. But he had a demeanor. He was, if you wanted a tough guy for the movie, that's your guy right there. And he was, of course, an interesting accent, and the way he talked was different than most, not just his accent, but his, I guess, delivery and content of his thoughts about the world were different than an average high school age kid, and that was intriguing. Stefanos had an extremely strong will, strong heart. He was extremely passionate. But if I had the choice of anybody defending me in my life, or a choice of somebody to partner with, somebody to be in the trenches in warfare, that'd be the guy. Calm, stoic, brave, strong, and he didn't give up on anything easy. Oh yeah, I could, you don't have enough film. So he'd owned a bar together with his friend Steve Townhauser called the Bear's Den, and we used to all go and party there, see live music. Steve would sit on the stool at the front, usually collect the money, and sort of act as owner/bouncer. And I've seen him bounce a lot of people with ease. It was not an emotional thing for him. I witnessed him when he was bouncing, when he had later moved to Myrtle Beach and working odd, different jobs, and he was working for Larry Lair. I think it was called Confetti's, big bar. They probably had 15 or so bouncers, excuse me. And I remember being there visiting him, and we're all partying, the bar's crowded, and of course anytime there was any kind of conflict, the bouncers would naturally run and go find Steve. And I remember one night, Steve, this big guy, he won't leave, he's talking junk to everybody, he's hit somebody. Steve, calmly, I have to watch the scene, walks over to the area where the guy is, Guy's probably, I'm going to guess, about 6'5". He was a football player for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm guessing 6'5", probably 250, 260, big guy. And Steve walks up to him very calmly. Again, he holds his finger out. He says, "I'm going to give you one chance to live." And the guy grabs his hand, you know, makes a big goofy face and just grabs his hand. And I don't remember what happened next because it was a split second. And the guy was on the ground with Steve just pummeling him. Within the next 10 seconds, the guy's out the door, bloody, yelling and screaming, and Steve goes back and sits on his stool, and he's not even out of breath. And there's other stories like that. I've been in situations where there's been multiple fighters, and none of us had to really do anything. He took care of all of them pretty quick. Agile, calm, the calmest fighter, I guess because of the confidence that he had, being, you know, the wrestler that he was at NC State. He cut his teeth wrestling. I don't know if, you know, some of you may recognize Tab Thacker. He was a 300-pound football player for NC State. Was he 400 pounds? I'm sorry. 100 here, 100 there. Pretty soon you're talking about a lot of weight, but 400-pound football player for NC State. Well, that was Stefanos' wrestling partner when he wrestled for NC State. And so, you know, cutting your chops on something like that, you know, you sort of learn how to, you know, leverage and use what you've got. And of course, he was naturally strong. With that and the leverage combined, he was no match, as he proved in his 40s when he decided he was going to fight professionally. And 3 fights, no losses. Nobody else wanted to fight him because, you know, a 26-year-old guy, what has he got to win for beating a, you know, 45-year-old man? Through Steve, you know, we witnessed that. I went to 2 of the 3 fights that he had, and he told me, he said he was having to lie about his age to get a fight, and then when they found out, they wouldn't fight him. If they lose, it really looks bad, and if they win, again, nothing to gain there. So anyway, again, I could go on with a lot of stories. Some of them are probably not made for the camera, so I'll stop right there. You know, again, there's plenty. Probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen Steve do, and it was his dance at a club. You know, all of us young single guys, we like women, and obviously you want to go out and try to meet women and hook up if you can, and it's always challenging. Steve was not a big talker, and I remember one night the light bulb came on. He's like, "Maybe if I dance." And I wish I'd have had video of that, because if you've ever seen, if you want to see him dance, imagine Herman Munster dancing. That would probably be the closest thing that I could get to. As a matter of fact, I imagined him while I watched him stiffly moving, you know, hoping to get laid, that I imagined 2 spikes sticking out of his neck, and I would have sworn I was white. He was dressed like Herman Munster, and it was perfect. Stefanos is a combination wild bull Tasmanian devil with a huge, huge heart. That's about what I've got right there. You said one sentence. I mean, one word. God, it's really hard to put one word on it. I mean, he's stoic. He's driven. Passionate, extremely passionate. I mean, he just wasn't embarrassed of his, like we are. He was just, he was unearthly. He was unearthly. His mind and his body were things not of this earth. When I found out Steve had died, it was through a phone call, a friend of a friend. It was probably several weeks after it occurred. I was just in denial. I just, that's not Steve. He's not one, his body doesn't break down like that. It made me feel extremely sad that I had not talked to him for the last couple years. I had recently had children, a late father, late in life, in my 50s, and got busy, stopped going to visit. Used to go visit him in LA, and we'd spend a week or two at a time on his schedule, which was in itself a very unique vacation. Getting up early morning, running on the beach, breakfast 9 or 10 o'clock, take a nap, go to the gym early afternoon, coffee, another run on the beach, back home again, a nap, then back out around 11 o'clock p.m. Maybe a small dinner, maybe not, maybe we just go and drink wine. He was a great entertainer, knew everybody, no lines at the clubs, all the best clubs, straight to the VIP room. And I followed his schedule a couple times. I don't know how he did it, but we'd come in we'd end up eating our biggest meal of the day would be at 4 or 5 in the morning. Might have been at Roscoe's, might have been some of the late night breakfast places, but getting home 6 or 7 a.m., sleeping again till 10 to get up and start over again. And I'm sorry, what was the question? You motherfucker. What in the hell is wrong with you? I told you to go to the doctor. If you'd have been taking a statin, you asshole, you'd be here with us today. You didn't believe in medical help. At least the Stefanos that I knew believed in eating well, living well, and exercising well. But you weren't monitoring your blood, and thank God for advances in medicine today through hereditary cholesterol. I've always eaten good. I've got high cholesterol. I'm guessing that's what the problem was, given an aneurysm, that the vessel's cracked, or dry, where statin keeps them lubricated. But I would tell you, asshole, get off your ass, go to the doctor. Trust the doctor. Don't be scared of medicines. They're made for a reason. And you still owe me $100. I miss you, man. I can't believe you're gone. I just can't believe it. You were a rock. You're the most passionate person I know. You never met a stranger. You're a thinker. You had a lot of wisdom to share in your old age. I'm sorry you won't get to do that. Hopefully we can pass it on. I know that I've retained and gained wisdom from you. I thank you for that, brother, and I miss you.